Hello, everybody. What's going on? Let me turn the volume down a little bit. This is The Legend of Zelda 2, The Adventure of Link, and I am Cool Peaches. And do not adjust your television sets. Do not change the channel or anything like that. You are actually listening to my voice right now. And this is indeed The Legend of Zelda 2, The Adventure of Link, one of my favorite Zelda games, actually. Honestly, one of my favorite games in general. And one of the oft-overlooked games in the Zelda franchise, to be sure. So we're going to go ahead and get another file started here. Yeah, my name is Max. We're going to be Al, because why not? I don't know. So yeah, as you can see, there's a reason that it's kind of an outcast in the Zelda series. Because it tends to be, or rather, it's a side-scrolling RPG, as opposed to the regular action-adventure RPG of the rest of the series, which makes it very unique and honestly really fun. I really have a lot of fun playing this game now, especially since I've played the other Zelda games so much. This game is kind of like a breath of fresh air in a lot of ways. Again, not to say that the other games are bad or anything like that. This one is just a completely different experience. So the way that this game works is you don't really get items. You do get items, but they don't help you in the field like this. They help you in this area. You won't get too many items that are going to help you in battle scenarios like this. Instead, what happens is you can get experience points to level up essentially. So what you want to do in the beginning of the game here is basically fight as many of these guys as you can. This screen is not a good one to do because, you know, there's only so many enemies and those only give 2. And the other ones don't give you anything. So you want to fight, really in the beginning of the game, the best way to grind is to get those kind of bigger orc-looking monster thingies. Those guys right there. You don't want to get them on there. 'Cause if you get any enemy on a road like this, then they won't attack you. Or rather, you'll get an empty scenario like that. So you won't have to worry about the enemy attacking you. That's a better way of putting it. So come on, where you at? Oh, come on. Yeah, you're going to have a bit of trouble in the beginning if you want to grind the way that I like to grind. Those right there are magic jars. They will refill your magic. Those particular ones, the blue ones, will only refill 1 bar. Ah, shit. I mean, shucks. You didn't hear that. Those particular ones will only refill 1 bar. Eventually you'll find red ones that'll refill the entire thing. And those are really nice to have. But you don't start seeing them until later on in the game, so don't get your hopes up or anything. Not that you have any magic this early on, you know. But yeah, so that's kind of the gist of the game. And it's kind of unfortunate that this game gets overlooked so often because, like I said, it's probably one of my favorite Zelda games, surprisingly enough. Right there is a pea bag. I probably should have said that. There's a pea bag right there that'll get you to your first level right away. So, that's the game. And there's not really much else to explain about this game, to be honest. So, just, how's everybody doing? Today is Wednesday, September 23rd. And I have been working my butt off recently to try and find a job. Oops. Let me not go here until I do something in town. Yeah, I've been working my behind off trying to find myself a job, and man, it's, I just moved across the country a couple days ago all on my own, and it's been kind of difficult just for the fact that I'm having trouble finding a job, and this is the first time that I'm kind of responsible for myself entirely, so there's been a lot of pressure put on me that didn't really exist before, and stuff like that, so this is not just my way of, you know, having some fun on YouTube. This is a sort of an escapism from everything that's going on in my life right now. It's not all bad or anything like that, but, you know, it's been tough. It's been a lot easier in the past, you know. So this guy right here is a magic sage. There's one of them, or I guess really they're called wise men, technically, but whatever, they're old men. Each one will give you a power-up. So this guy gave me a shield, and what this does, if you press select after you select it, you use magic. So you can see that bar went down. This particular magic will take it so that you take half damage, which is really, really useful, not just now, but throughout the entire game. So it's one that I very highly recommend that you get early. And somewhere else in town, I guess on the opposite side, there's an old lady who refill your magic for you. She's an old lady, except she's yellow, so she looks like that. I'll point her out when I see her. Man, this town is pretty spread out, huh? Where are you? Where are you? Is there not one in this town? I guess there isn't a magic lady in this town. Huh. Well, that's fine, honestly. You don't really need magic in the first area. Not as much as you will in later areas anyways, so don't feel bad if you're going into it without full magic. Hey, another P bag. That'll be useful. Sometimes even enemies that don't drop P, or, you know, experience, whatever, normally will drop P bags, so it might be worth it just to kill them for that. But that's really up to your own discretion. I personally don't bother with it, because the chances of that happening are relatively minuscule. So, yeah. What is going on with all y'all? Let me know how your day's been in the comments if you're watching this. If you care to. I mean, you don't have to. But, yeah, I'd like to catch up with you guys. It's been quite a wild couple of years for me. Like I said, I just moved halfway across the country. I'm living on my own now. Graduated from college. A bunch of other stuff has happened too. And I guess I'll get into that over the course of this Let's Play if I ever end up putting it up. I might not. I've recorded these every once in a while. It's a funny thing. I always like doing Let's Plays, or like the idea of doing them. And I will record them a lot and then just like never put them up. And I couldn't tell you why. Because it's not like I don't want to or anything like that. It's just half the time I record it and I look back and I'm like, man, you know, that's not really all that great. Like, I don't think anybody's going to want to watch that. But, you know, if you like this stuff, please let me know, because I would be more than happy to keep on making it. I love this game and I love playing it, and I would love to share it with more people. So, yeah. Okay. These bubbles in this particular area, or any area like it that has those openings to the ocean, you can't swim in this game. Ooh. So if you get hit one of those bubbles and knocked into the ocean, there's nothing you can do. You're dead. It's kind of stupid, but it's worse on actual hardware because you can barely see those bubbles. Like, they blend in so well with the background, and especially me, I don't like my TV brightness to be too bright. So if you're on a darker brightness, it'll blend in even worse, and it'll be even harder to see. So this is the first palace, the Palace of Parapa, or Parapa as I like to call it, Parapa Palace. Maybe we'll find Parapa the Rapper here. So we can kick, punch, chop, and turn and chop the door. Or whatever. I haven't played that game in such a long time. Parapa the Rapper is one of my favorite games of all time. Actually, back when I had money, LOL, I ordered the game off of eBay. And if you know anything about Parapa the Rapper, if you've tried to purchase it yourself, there's one thing you probably know about it, and it's that it's expensive as hell. It is super, super expensive, like way more expensive than it should be. So what I ended up doing, and you might end up doing this too if it's a game that you're interested in owning, I bought the CD and the jewel case separately, because together they were like $80. And this is back in 2018, so it's probably only gone up since then. But back then they were like $80 if you bought them together. So what I did is I bought the jewel case and the CD separately, and it only cost me about $50. So there's a strategy for you if you ever into collecting rare PlayStation 1 games, which can't imagine to be too many people this day and age, but you never know. I also have a copy of Earthbound, which is the other like super rare game that I own. I actually don't know my way through this palace really, so if I get lost, I actually think I need to go up this way first. Let's see. I could be totally wrong. Like I said, as many times as I've played this game, the only palace that I know the way through by heart is the Great Palace. Yeah, I am supposed to go this way. So first we go down here to get a key. There we go. I really wish that they put the attack power up before then, but that's fine. We'll get it before too long. Definitely get it before the end of this palace. Whenever you see magic like that, and you don't have any... Whenever you get a free magic drop like that, it's best to use shield just in case. Unless you have to use it for something else, which eventually you'll get to areas where you have to use it for something else. Do I have a key? I do not. So I went the wrong way. Nice. Okay, so I was wrong about the order here. But that's okay, because it happens. So, what else has been going on? No, life's just been kind of crazy. I don't know how many of you are living on your own, but it's really depressing at first. Like, I'm not sad to be on my own. Honestly, I really like living by myself. It's just... I have a lot of, like, responsibilities, and there are also a lot of expectations on me from my parents and stuff to, get a job in my degree field and stuff like that, and it's kind of stressful, But it is what it is, and I shall persevere, There was actually, just the other day, I was walking home from the grocery store, and I don't want any of you guys to, like, worry about me or anything like that. I'm fine. But I was walking home from the grocery store the other day, and this guy tried to mug me. He didn't get away with it. I didn't let him. Not that I'm some big tough guy or anything like that, but I just talked my way out of it, essentially. So I was walking home, and there was this guy who was walking out in front of me. And he stopped for a second just to... I don't know what he was doing. It looked like he was looking out over the city or something like that, which is, understandable. It's a nice view and everything like that. But he stopped to look out over the city for a second. And as soon as I passed him, or a little bit after I passed him, he waited for me to pass him, and then he started walking again, so he started following me, and immediately, that's a red flag immediately for me. It's like, yeah, there's something fishy going on here. So I pay attention to what this guy's doing. I don't stop or anything like that. I'm just wary of him being behind me. And like, what is this guy up to? And eventually, I turn into my complex, and I'm thinking, all right, I'm safe now. I don't have to worry about this anymore. We don't want to do that quite yet. And lo and behold, guess what he does? Well, he walks up right behind me and taps on my shoulder, and he asks, hey, pal, you know what the time is? And I say, offhand, I do not. And he says, check. Now, he doesn't ask me to check. He just says, check, 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 check. And I keep on saying, no, I'm not going to check it until I basically tell him to buzz off. I didn't say it that politely, but you know what I mean. Have I already? Yeah, I have. Okay, I'm getting confused. My bad. Which means there's probably something back this way that I missed. Like I said, I don't really know my way around any of these dungeons except for the very last one. Anyways, yeah, so this guy keeps on telling me to check until I basically tell him to buzz off. And he looks at me in the eye and he says, you talking to me? I basically said, you think there's anybody else around here that I could be talking to? It was just me and him. And we just start staring each other down. And nobody says a word for about 2 minutes. And then eventually I'm like, if you really need to know what the time is, I can't tell you, but the office can. They're right over there. And he stares at me for another minute after that until he finally walks over to the office and leaves. And I keep my eyes on him until he gets out of view, which, I'm not going to give you, like, advice on how to avoid getting mugged or anything like that. But if you ever suspect that that somebody's trying to mug you or anything like that, that's kind of the protocol that I would follow. Just be wary of your surroundings and make sure that if there's anybody who arouses your suspicions, they're probably doing so for good reason. It's a crazy world out there, especially right now, so just be careful, What's happening in the game right now? Haven't been talking about that too much. Well, we just got the candle, which is the item from Palace 1. Now, this will illuminate caves. If you notice, when we were coming over here through the cave, it was dark. We couldn't see what was going on. Well, now with the candle, we'll be able to see. So that's what that does. Oh, sugar sticks. Oops. Oh. Oh, wow. Okay. Well, I'm going to be... Nope. Nope. Ah, dang it. Oh, that happens. Those slimes, man, I tell you, they can be a real pain in the behind. There we go. So yeah, you know, just protect yourself. It's a crazy world out there, especially right now. Is it just me, or is it getting crazier out there? Things are certainly tense. I love that movie. Me and my old roommate went to see that movie opening night. We we went to one of those movie theaters that's like a dine-in movie theater. I don't know if any of you have ever been to that. Or one like that, rather. But we went to one of those movie theaters that was like a dine-in movie theater. And we ordered a pizza, and they brought it out in this box. And they put a pizza platter inside the box. So when we were leaving, my roommate was like, yo, you know what we should do? Let's just stick that platter inside the box and not say a word about it. And we ended up doing that, and we got away with it too. So I have a pizza platter now that I don't really need. Which is just great. It's all dirty though, so I haven't used it. So this is Boss 1, Horsehead. That's not his official name. That's kind of like his fan designation name. And I should put shield up. Whenever you're fighting a boss, you generally want to throw up a shield. And this guy is not hard at all. It's just maybe a little bit tough to hit. But see, do you see how much he did? He did like nothing. And that's with level 3 attack. Or level 3 life. Yeah, he did half a bar. Which you saw the slimes were doing that much, actually. Would help if I wasn't sucking so bad, though. There we go, there we go. I always like doing this. You can make the shadow flip in between which side it is. And then the key drops down, and you do this, and then you do that, and that's the palace. Generally, you want to get a little bit more experience. You want to get a level before you fight the boss, in most cases, just because it'll automatically sit you to your next level. So that's a level up for magic. And other thing, the way that you know a palace is completed is if it's turned to stone on the overworld. But I think that is about it for this episode of Zelda 2: The Adventure of Link. If you like this, let me know, and I'll keep on doing it. But if not, then that's cool too. I will see you guys in the next episode. Chowses.